Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of I'm Playing. Today I'm playing a bit of Ooga Booga on the Sega Dreamcast. This is one of my absolute favorite games on the Dreamcast, and in my opinion, this is the premier multiplayer game on the Dreamcast. You can play this game with up to 4 players locally, and even back in the day you could play this online. Unfortunately, the online no longer works. As with most Dreamcast games, the servers are no longer online, and there are no private servers that you can connect to with this. But you can play locally, which is still awesome. And there is also a single-player campaign that you can play through called the Tribal Trial, which I'll show you in a second. But the basic premise of this game is it's, according to the back of the case, it's a multiplayer combat with a tropical punch. Yeah, you basically just go around and attack the other players on the map, and whoever gets the most hits by the end of the time limit wins the round. But I'll get right into the game and I'll describe it as I go along. So let's start off with the Tribal Trial, which is the single-player campaign. So when you first start the game, you start with 4 different characters you can choose from. They're all witch doctor characters. So this one here is Twitchy. Actually, these characters here you unlock later in the game by playing the single-player campaign, such as the Dwarf and the Leprechaun. This is one of the original characters, Fatty. Super Guy, Pirate, both unlockable characters. Hoodoo is one of the original characters as well. Death is an unlockable character, and Hottie is the final one of the original 4 characters. But you have other characters such as Disco Dude and even Honest Abe Lincoln. But you have quite a wacky cast of characters you can unlock, and really cool characters. But anyway, I'll just pick a character and start off here. I'll go with my favorite one. I usually pick Hoodoo. Alright, so here we have, you start off with a tutorial, and as you go through there's other different tutorials that show you the different game modes and stuff like that. I'll start off with the free-for-all here. So it says, time for your first real match of Smackahuna. Hone your skills in a 4-player free-for-all with Shrunken Heads and Swatting. Remember, Shrunken Heads score 1 point, Swatting scores 2 points. So Swatting is basically that's your main attack. You just swing your, I don't know, witch doctor staff, I guess, and hit the other players. And you can also pick up Shrunken Heads that are scattered throughout the map and throw them at the other players. Let's start off the mission here. So at the beginning it intros all the characters. They all have their little saying that they say, which is kind of cool. Alright, so you start off here, you move around with the analog stick. These are the shrunken heads on the ground here. They fall from the trees, kind of like coconuts. Whoops. Use the A button to swing your staff, and you can hit the other players. As you can see, the computer players are pretty dumb at this point. It will get smarter as you progress. You use the X button to throw the shrunken heads. You can throw them in quite rapid succession. But you get a point every time you hit somebody with a shrunken head, like so. As you can see at the top of the screen, it shows your score. I'm in the blue, obviously. I kind of just a little icon to represent your character. I have 23 points currently, and the fatty has 5, and Hottie has 4 points. Now later in the game, or in the single-player campaign, you will get other attacks, which are magic spells, which you can pick up. They're represented by little tokens that are on the ground. You can pick them up and cast the different spells. You can hold multiple spells at once and cycle through them. Some of the spells include a fireball that you can shoot at other characters and set them on fire. They'll stay on fire for a certain amount of time, or until they run into the water and extinguish the flame. And there's a lightning spell that you can shock other players with, and stuff like that. So I won that round. So each round you get a token, or actually 3 tokens for the winner, I guess, 2 for second place and 0 for the rest. Whoever has the most tokens at the end of, I think it's, well, I guess it's only 1 round in this game. But what's kind of cool is that you can press the different face buttons to do different dances at the end, kind of victory dances, which is kind of a cool addition. So that's a pretty easy one there. So I'll go on to a little harder one and show you a few of the other attacks you can do. So let's go for this free-for-all smackahuna here. No holds barred this time, and no teams. You can have teams in this game. You can set the teams if you want to do 2 versus 2. You can do 3 versus 1 if you want. But yeah, you can have teams in the game. So this is a 2-minute round, and the first to win 7 tokens wins the game. Hoodoo. It's actually another hoodoo in this game. If you have multiple of the same character, it'll just change the color on you, so you can tell the difference. This one has boars, which I actually forgot to mention earlier. You can ride these and hit the other players with them, which is kind of cool. What you need to do to ride the boar is actually you have to hit the boar with your staff to stun them, and then you can get on top of them. But if you don't get on top of them within a certain amount of time, the boar will actually go crazy and just start running around hitting people, kind of like that. There's also birds. If I can actually get around to one of them here. Oh, I was just set on fire. You can hit the bird and you can ride them just like you can the boars, except obviously in the air. Oh, I pressed the wrong button there, but you can shoot shrunken heads from while you're flying on the bird, which is kind of cool. If I can do this again. You rapidly tap the A button to stay up in the air, and you press the X button to shoot the shrunken heads, which actually lock onto the enemies, which is really cool. And you obviously have only a certain amount of time that you can ride on the bird, and same with the boar, you'll just be kicked off after a certain amount of time. See if I can find a magic spell. Here we go. Here's a lightning spell. As you can see in the top left corner of the screen, you can see your spells. If you press the Y button, you can switch between them. Press the B button to cast the spell. See, I just shocked them. The lightning will actually bounce between characters if you shoot the lightning at multiple characters that are near each other. The lightning will bounce back and forth between them, which is pretty cool. But I completely lost that round. You can see, dead last. So it goes right on to round 2, but I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to exit out and show you the offline skirmish, which is the local multiplayer, just to show you the options in that. So if I go to the offline skirmish, so this game has tons of customization when it comes to the multiplayer mode. You can turn any of these magic spells on or off. You can change the game type. There's a few different game types. I only showed you Smackahuna, which is the basic, I guess you could call it, deathmatch. But there's also Rodeo, which is the only way to score points in this is to ride on the boars and hit the other players. And there's also Boar Polo, which you ride on a boar and hit a boulder into the goals on either side of the board. I'll actually show you that in a second. But you can set the different options here. As you can see, you can set the amount of boars on the map. You can set the amount of birds, and you can also set the amount of tikis. Now tikis are actually, it kind of adds almost a tower defense type of element to the game, where you can add the tikis to the map, and you actually buy the tikis with shrunken heads that you pick up. Each tiki will cost a certain amount of heads. The more you buy, the more they'll cost. So if you already have one, say, and it costs you, I don't know, 5 shrunken heads to buy it, if you want to buy another one, it'll usually cost double. So the next one will cost you 10. But yeah, if you buy tiki, it'll turn to your color, or your team's color, and that tiki will automatically shoot anybody that's near them, which is really cool. So I'll set a few things here. I just want to show you the tikis real quick, so I'm going to just jump right into a game. As you can see, you can change your character. You can put masks on. Certain characters have masks you can change, like that. I can change my team color. There's a few different colors. So I'll just put a few CPU players in here. I really don't care what they are. I'll just change the colors and go right into the game. I'm just going to quickly show you the tikis so you can get an idea what that's all about, and then I'll show you a bit of the Boar Polo. So it can get quite frantic if you put a lot of tikis on a small island such as the one I'm playing now. I'm not sure. There is a limit of the amount of tikis you can put down. I'm not sure exactly what the limit was. I think it may be 6, I think. So here's the tiki here. As you can see, I just bought it. And you can even move the tikis around if you hold down the A button when you're next to it. So as you can see, he just shoots shrunken heads out of his mouth at any of the enemies that are nearby. Now the enemies can actually break the tiki if they hit it with their staff enough. They can actually destroy it. Keep getting set on fire here. Grab a couple magic spells. The one I have there currently equipped is actually a mine. You can place them down anywhere on the map and they'll blow up when somebody walks over them. Put a bunch of those down. Cast this, whoops. This is the fire magic spell. I think that's the, one of my favorites. It's between that and the lightning. Those are my favorite spells to use. When you set people on fire, it's just really funny. Watch them run around the map like crazy. So as you can see, there's a little rotating shrunken head above this tiki. Tells me how many shrunken heads it'll take to buy it. But anyway, you get the idea of that. I don't want to spend too much more time on this video, so I'm just going to get right into the Boar Polo and just show you that quickly. Just change this to Boar Polo, and you can have teams. Actually, I think it requires, yes, you do have to have, you can't have more than 2 teams. which obviously, but you can change it if you want to do 3 versus 1 or 2 versus 2. I'll just change the kahuna on this one. And we'll do the fatty team versus the hottie team. So this has all the same weapons, except for the tikis. You can't use tikis on Boar Polo, but you can use all the other weapons, including the birds. So you can knock your opponents off the boars. So the game is really simple. All you do is ride on the boar and hit the boulder into your enemy's goal. So if I can find a boar here. Get on him. You can hit the boulder with your staff if you want, but it's I'm actually going towards the wrong goal here. Not paying attention. But yeah, you can use your staff to hit the boulder as well, like so, but it doesn't go nearly as far as when you hit it with the boar. But if you have it close to your goal, sometimes it's a good idea just to actually might make it all the way. Hey, look at that. Nice. My little victory dance. Oh yeah. I just love the sense of humor in this game. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna probably cut the video here. I've shown you all the game modes except for rodeo, which, like I said, is basically just riding around on boards and hitting the other players. It's not too much different from Smackahuna, except the only way to score points is to use the boar. I believe on that map there is actually only one boar, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But anyway, guys, this has been Ooga Booga on the Sega Dreamcast. One of my favorite games, and definitely highly recommended. It's just insanely fun, with especially if you play this in multiplayer mode. But even the single player mode is fun as well. I had a lot of fun playing through that to unlock everything. But thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.